Hi and welcome. Yeah, another Apex video brought to you by myself, Dratlaw44. Hope you're all having a great day so far. So these are just two Flashpoint very epic wins that me and my friends managed to have. I wanted to share them because, of course, although these were got the other day, actually before I was able to sort of stream, which didn't actually kind of happen, and I posted some stream highlights from the matches that would have been on stream had it have decided to actually work and go well. I'm going to post them in the sort of link, so again, I'd love it if some of you could check that out and let me know whether it was good, give me some feedback, all those good things. But of course, before I get into the main bulk of these videos and talk you through what happens, of course, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Alright, let's get into the video. So yeah, so in today's video, I mean, normally I have a topic to kind of talk about and, you know, kind of like just have this as kind of background footage. But, you know, I mean, like, I feel that, you know, these videos, I do like to have varied and different things. And that's what I try and do within the sort of like the Apex community, try and keep it interesting and varied and all those things as well. Now, one thing I would say is that Flashpoint is going to end as of tomorrow at the time of recording. That'll be like Tuesday, at like 6 in the morning for UK time. So these are going to be the last sort of couple of videos. I think I've got a couple more to post tomorrow because of course these will be the ones that I'll have from today's footage. And that'll be it, really. After that, it won't be any more Flashpoint because it'll be over. And, of course, you know, like anything, it will be hopefully some new topics and some new content. Got a few things lined up, so hopefully that all works out. Now, as you can see, it gets pretty hectic in swamps. Seem to have had a lot of luck in swamps, actually, as regards to wins. For some reason, swamps seems to be a really good position. And, yes, I do regret not shooting that Bangalore because I would have got the kill. If you kill the person that knocked that person down and then you shoot them, you actually get credited the kill. Yeah, it shouldn't really happen, but hey, I mean, who's going to take or not complain about a free kill, eh? So yeah, as you can sort of see, it's all a bit chaotic in swamps. It's always a little bit all over the place. The Bangalore's dropped down, the Bloodhound is the last one, and of course I swapped to the trusty Hemlock just to finish him off, because let's face it, the Hemlock at the moment, yeah, let me know, what do you guys think of the Hemlock? Is it just that super strong gun, or do you think it's really, really lame? I can't imagine too many people answering it's lame, to be fair. Anyway, that said, it's only us and another squad. They do down Viper, unfortunately, because he's just in a bad position. One thing I always do in these kind of modes is stock up on grenades, because you've got more backpack space. Always a good thing. You know, literally makes them back off and all those things. And, of course, being Lifeline, which is the reason why I have mained Lifeline for the last 2 weeks, is, of course, because of her excellent and amazing passive, and actually her very, very useful ability as well with the drone. Now, the drone outside of Flashpoint, I mean, it is good, but it's a little bit slow, and usually, you know, you only use it with syringes or a Phoenix kit or whatever, but in this mode, it's very, very good. Now, the one thing is that, you know, the great thing about having a Gibraltar on your team, of course, and a Revenant as well, is it really makes for a very dangerous combo. And as you can sort of see, I mean, Viper throws down his ultimate, our friend Xander does the Revenant Totem, and we know that we're just going to win. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to win this, because we've got every single advantage under the sun. The storm's coming in, you know, we're in a good place. They're not, they're in the storm. And yeah, kind of ironically, they both die in the storm. I get the damage and the kills because, hey, they got damaged by me first and then they died in the storm. And we were victors. You know, very, very nice win. Wasn't the most complicated, but it was a really nice win. 5 kills, yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Not the highest ever. But this next game is where it really kind of comes into its own. Now, I would love to say that, you know, I have these kind of games every single game. Truthfully, I do not. And that is why I like posting these. I feel like, you know, with the kills in Apex, they vary very much. Like, you can log in and you struggle for a kill, and then other games you log in and you just literally you get killed. But it isn't like the first game. Sometimes it can be a few games down the line, sometimes it can be, you know, straight away. It just depends maybe on mindset, how you're playing, whether you feel confident in what you're doing, and sometimes it can come down to weaponry as well. I mean, do you get the combo that you like? I mean, for me, it is generally kind of like the Hemlock and Volt, or the Hemlock and the Eva, that I tend to use the most, and I feel most comfortable with those 2 guns, or 3 guns. I do use the G7 sometimes, and the R301, but, you know, and even the Flatline as well, but these kind of guns are very much varied a little bit, and I do tend to kind of, you know, decide on very much a different thing. But as you can see, I mean, like, JHD got knocked down. Of course, he gets revived by our teammates, that's fine. The other one's dead. so we're okay in this. Now, there is a bit where we end up chasing this absolute nightmare Pathfinder at some point, and it's really, really frustrating as to why that is, because Pathfinder, to me, Pathfinder just seems to have a way of getting away from any kind of situation. Now, I know that he's probably not in as strong a place as he used to be, and I think that a lot of people forget how overpowered he was back in the day. So, of course, like now, you know, he's more balanced and things. People are complaining because they're comparing it to the old and, you know, way he was and how balanced he wasn't. I mean, this guy was absolutely ridiculous, and of course, people complain that the grapple's been changed. I mean, honestly, you know, I can see the reasons why they changed it. I mean, maybe, you know, changing it so that, you know, it covers now the distance. I didn't know that, actually. I mean, I made a kind of ranking video, and I learned that it was definitely much worse than I thought it was. I just thought that, you know, depending on how far you grapple, the longer it would be. So if you did shorter grapples, it would be shorter. Longer grapples, it would take longer, up to 35 seconds. But apparently, it can take up to 42. I did not know that. So you learn something, and yeah, I'm sure that they're going to change that one, because that isn't really the greatest thing. But yeah, I mean, sadly, the Pathfinder at this time gets away. I managed to burn him with some thermites and things. We go to chase him, but of course, being a Pathfinder, he just grapples away and gets away for the time being. But, you know, the nice feeling is that we did later come across that team again with the Pathfinder, because he grabbed, I believe, a couple of banners and gone away. So we do then end up in swamps again. Now, it's funny, actually, because, like I say, for some reason, swamps has been a really, really good place to kind of fight for the final ring in Flashpoint. This was actually my 10th win, so really, really nice. And what one hell of a game it actually was. Now, this little bit is probably not really kind of an insight of how the game turned out, because, again, you know, like any game, they don't just go straight into absolutely perfect and everything falls into place. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you've got to find enemies, and that last ring can be pretty chaotic, and you get a bit lucky with maybe finding a gold devotion as well, and you can't turn it down because, hey, it's a gold devotion. I mean, I don't normally use the devotion that much anymore, but hey, I mean, you can't really refuse it if it's there, because it's just so ridiculously OP that why would you not, you know, and that's one of those things. And, you know, as much as great as a Volt is, and I really like the gun, it is overpowered and probably needs a little bit of a balance. Gold Devotion is the same thing. I mean, I don't think that there should ever have been a weapon that was taken out of, you know, the care package. It's definitely a care package weapon. Why did they ever put it as ground loot? Even though the drops are a little bit rarer, I still do not understand it. So, of course, I mean, in Flashpoint, you know, one thing we tend to do is wait for a positional advantage. We didn't want to just rush in and then face another 6 squads or whatever. We just want to kind of, you know, wait our time, bide our sort of moment, and of course, you know, win it out as best as we can. I mean, don't forget, you know, when you're going for the badges, you probably don't play exactly the same way as you normally do. Now, I did pop back to Repulsor quickly just to heal up, because some of my shield was gone. Unfortunately, not having any shield heals and not having a Watson on the team, of course, this is the only way of doing it, and it is a little bit of a drag. But, you know, I mean, like, it doesn't really take that long. I just thought, well, for the sake of a little bit of shield, I'm just going to get that replenished as soon as I can, and then that way then, if I do get into a fight, I'm not at a disadvantage, because sometimes that little bit of health can make all the difference. And that's why, like, if you've got syringes and you've got a tiny little speck of health missing, it's still worth healing, because you never know, that might have been the difference between you surviving and you dying. So, hey, it's well worth doing, right? But, you know, I mean, like, with the games like this, you know, I find that these kind of games are quite intense. Flashpoint is a very intense kind of game mode. I found it to be very sweaty. You know, was it easy to get 10 wins and all that? Well, in the end, I've actually got 13 wins, because some of the games on stream that didn't happen actually turned out to be wins as well. And I got a win yesterday with JHD as well. So, again, that will be probably on the footage tomorrow, because that is an older game that I'll sort of see what's left to kind of post. But, you know, I mean, like, as I said, it actually has been really hard. I mean, sometimes with the wins, you know, they just fall into place and you can kind of like really take a hold. You've got a good team, you've got a good squad mate, you've got people pulling their weight, but sometimes you have not, and well, quite often you have not if it's random. If you've got like a friend with you, I think this is a kind of game mode that a friend really comes into it. You know, if you've got 2 friends with you, especially with crossplay now, you know, there should be no excuses of why you can't play with friends or at least meet new people, because there are various kind of like, applications, Discord, Reddit, all the things, even YouTube, people add them like usernames on that as well. So I mean, it is well worth kind of looking out for friends that might be of a competent level. Maybe not for this game mode, but for just in general, because it makes the game a lot more enjoyable if you're playing with your friends or playing with people who are actually capable, rather than just people who are goddamn awful. Now, as you can sort of see there, we realise there are a lot of people around. That was the Pathfinder again. He keeps getting away, slippery as an eel, that one. But we push it into another building, and of course it ends up being other squads. Now we end up jumping up on the jump pad. Literally, me and JHD push, and we go for the 2 because there is someone up there reviving. Now, luckily, JHD takes out one of them. I take out the other. And job done. That's another team down. Fantastic. Now, this is where, of course, one of them had a gold devotion. So I'm looking, all for the attachments and everything, and I get told by JHD there's actually a devotion in there with a stack load of energy ammo, and I'm just like, jeez, okay. And how can you turn that down? I mean, normally, yeah, the normal devotion probably wouldn't bother, and then I'm just like, well, you know what? I'm going to definitely take as much energy ammo. Now, I must admit, I probably could have taken a little more, but it was quite handy. It did its job. And, yeah, it ends up being, as I say, a very competent win. And it goes really about as smoothly as you can ask it. It was a very weird case because, the Gibraltar jumps down. I don't know what was happening to him. He just had no health. So I was like, oh, right, okay, that was easier than expected. But, not going to complain. Literally run round. I probably could have picked up the red shield. I think that was about the only thing that I look at and I think, why didn't I pick that up? But, maybe sometimes you're just in the heat of the fight. There's lots of other fighting going on. And, of course, you're kind of just going for kills and going for that very vital win. Which, of course, as I say, I mean, for the badges, you want to get, the wins, the kills in the Flashpoint arenas, and, of course, the damage, which is probably the easier one. Fortunately, it's a very nice feeling to have that all done. As I said, it was on Friday, I think, pretty much, that I completed this. So it was really nice to of course, get it all out the way and everything like that. JHD only needs 1 more win, so we're going to be trying to get that tonight, and Viper needs 2. So hopefully we can get that done for them and get really lucky in getting a couple of wins. And, of course, if we do, and they're good games, then they'll be on tomorrow's video for your viewing pleasure, hopefully. But as you can see, there's another enemy there. Yeah, the devotion just melts. End up being kill leader because, of course, when you're killing people with the devotion, what can you do? You can just keep going. So literally run up to the ramp. There's a rampart and that Pathfinder again. He had to be the slipperiest customer in the whole entire game. The rampart was pretty easy, actually. Literally down her, not a problem at all. I end up having to kick the door down because she's blocking it, that old trick. Could have gone round, but there was a ramp blocking it anyway, so I literally just decided to, of course, kick that one down her. Job done. Now, the Pathfinder ends up being somewhere below. Again, he just literally didn't want to die. We did kill him in the end, which was a relief, but he was a bit of a pain, I must say. Fortunately, we get him and it goes from there. But, of course, what I did laugh at is this probably is the funniest bit of the video. So someone decided to revive the Wraith that I downed earlier when I'd gone through the portal. They dropped down, absolutely fine. But for some unknown reason, like when I find them, literally what surprised me probably the most is that they are standing in the storm and they are trying to loot a box. And I was just like, what are you doing? And then I was like, oh, well, I'll just shoot them. And they died. Absolutely, completely and utterly crazy. Did not understand that. Really confused. But hey, I mean, I'm going to take it because at the end of the day, it's yet another kill. Fantastic. So we then end up pushing, literally, the Pathfinder finally dies. He literally wasn't very high health, to be fair. Get the revive, of course, on JHD. Lovely. And, of course, we go from there in regards to reviving. Now, as the final part then, pretty much there just tends to be one final person hiding in the ring. I could have killed the lifeline, I was a bit unlucky. The teammate ends up getting them. I have to get JHD up again because he had no health. And of course then it goes from there. But we just then gain the position to pretty much clutch out a very vital win. And of course, as I say, to get all of the aftermarket badges, it was nice to grind for something. Nice to have something to play. I did enjoy having a new LTM mode, and I'm kind of sad it's going in a way. I know that might be my personal opinion, and maybe not everyone else really liked it, but I did think actually it was a pretty damn good game mode, especially considering a lot of the other ones that we've had that have been pretty trash. This one seemed pretty fun and pretty decent, and it was nice kind of not messing around with so many heals. I played a duos match which I posted on my stream highlights. I mean, it's okay, but it definitely does slow the gameplay down. So I did wonder whether they might add heal arenas, which again is something that I did as a video. I'll add that in the description below as well, just in case you want to check it out. If you've seen it already, don't bother, but if you haven't, then I would love you to sort of give me feedback and let me know what you thought and all that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for me. So it'll go to the end where there'll be, of course, the victory. If you liked the video, you enjoyed it, you found it fun, the kills was satisfying, all that stuff, then a like on the video is always going to help get it noticed more. If you do decide to drop me a subscription, that would be amazing as well, because of course, again, more subscribers, the better and all that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for me for this particular video. As I say, I will be posting another one tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of the evening, day or night, whenever you're watching it, and I shall see you in the next video. You take care. Cheers now. See ya. Bye.